Welcome to the best of high school sports in Northern California. We are the Bee Prep Show.
And we come to you from the heart of Placer County in Loomis, Del Oro High School, home of the Honor Bowl.
Welcome back for another edition of the Bee Prep Show. I'm Mike Finnerty, joined as always by my co-host Joe Davidson of the Sacramento Bee, and we are coming to you from Del Oro High School in Loomis, home once again to the Honor Bowl.
The Honor Bowl is a great event. It's in its 4th year. Kudos to Mark Soto, the founder and creator and the director of this game, and it really helps blend fun and games of football games with real life military veterans. Some come home, some don't, and it's just really a fabulous educational experience. Great games, by the way, and we got to see B number 2 Elk Grove, B number 3 Del Oro against some monster competition.
Yeah, and we saw a good one with the Del Oro Kamehameha game. Kamehameha from Hawaii. This was a good one. It went all the way to the 4th quarter. Here are your highlights. We take out to Loomis, home of the Del Oro Golden Eagles. We're playing host, the Kamehameha Warriors from Hawaii. Both teams opening up their respective seasons as participants in this year's Honor Bowl, a showcase event that honors the military veterans, wounded soldiers, and serves as a fundraiser for both, a great cause. So with that, we get you out to the game, and what would a home game at Del Oro be without the Black Hole student section in full force as always? But it was Kamehameha that would strike first on the field when quarterback Noah Sac-Joaquin, he finds his men in the back of the end zone. A great leaping catch, and with the extra point, the visiting Warriors are up 7-0 early on. Now with 14 seconds left in the first quarter, it's Sac-Joaquin again. Rather than pass, he's going to take it himself, and now it's a 13-0 game. Del Oro would finally get on the board with under a minute left in the half when quarterback Logan Hurst goes deep down the right side, and he's going to find his man Trey Udofia. He makes the leaping catch, and with that, it'll cut the lead to 13-7. Not done yet. Kamehameha goes to air before the break, but Justin Bridge, he's going to make the Warriors pay with this interception, and that would eventually lead to this 24-yard field goal as Del Oro cuts it to a 13-10 game by the half. Third quarter now, and Del Oro continues where it left off in the first half. It's Tanner Robeson taking it up the middle from a yard out, giving the Golden Eagles their first lead of the game at 17-13. With under 5 minutes to go, Kamehameha sees the lead back with this 1-yard score. The extra point is blocked, but it's a 19-17 lead for Kamehameha. First possession after the kickoff, Hurst goes back to pass, and he is hit by Josiah Lucas. The ball gets loose. The Warriors scoop it up and take it in for a touchdown. Warriors miss the extra point, so Del Oro still has a shot with 4 minutes left in this game, down 25-17. However, Del Oro can't get it done late. Hurst is picked off here with 26 seconds left to play, and that's going to seal the deal as Kamehameha of Hawaii takes it with a 25-17 win over Del Oro.
Great stuff, Mike. As you can see, both teams look very good. Del Oro was in the Section Division II championship last year. Sac-Joaquin section took on Elk Grove. We saw Elk Grove in the earlier game. The Thundering Herd beat DeMonte Ranch of Reno 55-7. The Herd looked great. They got great running backs, speed. Coach Chris Nixon's got a machine going again. Mo Lawler's the offensive line coach. They call the Hammerheads there. Could be those two teams in the Section Division II championship as well. Another team to look for in Division II could be the Grant Pacers. You saw the Pacers in an opener at Burbank. Always a fun show.
Always a good one, and we had a chance to see Devontae Whittington Grays once again. He had a big night. Next up is a showdown of two former league rivals, a city school matchup of sorts that had the Grant Pacers on the road to take on the Burbank Titans. Another year at the helm for Grant coach Mike Albergini. He's been the lead man since 1991. And this year he's going to rely heavily on the running game, and that's just what he did early on in this showdown. Ground and pound all day long down the field until finally Albergini lets big old DeAndre Whittington Grays score from 13 yards out, and that's going to put the Pacers on top at 7-0 with 7:45 left in the first. Then, with under a minute to go in this opening quarter, the ground game would lead once again, and here he is one more time. It's Whittington Grays from a yard out, and it's now a 14-0 Grant lead, and that would be your score by halftime. Pacers would add a Tyneal Martin touchdown in the fourth, and ultimately prevail in this one in shutout fashion by a count of 20-0. Grant will play host to Central of Fresno this Friday. As for Burbank, The Titans will take the week off before playing at Oak Ridge in week 2.
Good stuff as usual, Mike. It's a fabulous rivalry between these two programs. A lot of respect there. 5:30 p.m. kickoff times for Burbank on Florin Road. It's a traffic nightmare. The alternative is Saturday afternoon games. They're trying to ensure safety. There's got some outsiders, kids who try to ruin it for everybody. What was the atmosphere like?
It was great. As you can see here, packed crowd, both sides of the stadium, and lots of enthusiasm when you're talking about the opening week of high school sports season, and it starts with football. And hey, what can you say? They had a great crowd, and I'm sure they're happy about it.
Good to see.
All right, we got one more game to show you. We're going to do a little small school with VCA playing host out of Highlands High School to take on Kennedy. We'll wrap up our highlights with the large school Kennedy Cougars matched up against the small school Valley Christian Academy Lions of Roseville. This from Highlands High School in Sacramento, and this one was all Cougars. First possession of the game, Kennedy's Orlando Boyd finds some space around the left side, and he is looking to take this all the way, but Boyd is taken down short of the end zone. He goes down at the 1, and that would set up this DeMonte Jones touchdown. This is first of what would be 4 touchdowns on the night for Mr. Jones. Cougars go for the 2-pointer, and they get it, and it's now an 8-0 game to get this thing started. Still in the first quarter, it's Boyd making big plays again. This on the defensive side with the interception, and he is going to go 45 yards for another Kennedy touchdown. And with another 2-point conversion, it's quickly a 16-0 game. Kennedy continued to rack up the points in the first. Here's another Jones touchdown, this from short yardage style, and it's 22-zip. Late in the half, Kennedy quarterback Sean Allison looks left, and he finds Boyd, and he is going to make a nice move here. That'll free him up to take it all the way to the house. No one is going to catch Boyd. He finds Pater. It's now 28-0 Kennedy. Of course, they're going to look for that 2-point conversion. That's what they do. Allison hits Garrett Kotko over the middle. They go up 30-0. That would be your score at the half, and Kennedy would go on to prevail in this one, 50-0. The Cougars will look to open up their new stadium this Friday when they play host to the Galt Warriors. All right, that will wrap up our football highlights. Joe, what do you look at as news and notes from 0 week?
Well, I thought Nevada Union and Grass Valley really pulled the shocker win of the week, and much needed. The Miners, traditional power for years, a lot of section championships, city championships. Last season went 0-10, worst record in school history. Dennis Houlihan was a former Miner great, first-year coach last year. He said it was brutal. How do you solve it? You get better, you work, and you win a game. They went to Auburn on Friday, 0 week, 41-20 victory, nearly 600 yards offense. Whoa, the Miners are also looking to surge a little bit in the Sierra Foothill League, so I thought that was terrific. And then we'll talk more when we show the top 20 rankings, and also in our last segment, we're going to preview some week 1 games, but there's a couple more news and notes. Stick around for that. Welcome back to the Bee Prep Show, as we bring you the best of high school sports in Northern California. Strong emphasis in Sacramento and the Sac-Joaquin section, football, volleyball, soccer. We got all that stuff throughout the show, but a fun segment to introduce.
Yeah, a fun segment. We caught up with Spencer Sheff, running back for the Elk Grove Thundering Herd, as part of our new segment in the show, the school's credit union Game On athlete. We not only talked to him about his on-the-field success, but his off-the-field success. He's an academic. All right, joined now by Spencer Sheff, Elk Grove running back, linebacker star, maybe doing some kick returns off this year, but team's going to be great once again. You got to be excited for this year to start.
Oh yeah, we're so excited. We have a great group of guys this year with a whole lot of talent. We all work hard, and the season's just going to be a great one for us.
Well, let's talk a bit about this. Spotlight's on you. They're expecting a lot out of you this year from the running back spot. Great tradition here in that position. What are your goals?
Our goals are just to win. You know, we've been second place for 2 years in a row. We just want to win it all this year.
Well, you're unique also. You're not just a star on the field, but we know about this GPA of yours, well over 4.0. And a funny story, Mom tells you way back when, you better have a 4.0 or you don't play sports.
Yeah, ever since 4th grade, my mom told me if I wanted to play football, I had a 4.0, and then so ever since then I've had it.
And when did this start? Was it elementary school?
Yeah, 4th grade. I wanted to play football, and she didn't want to let me because she thought it was too dangerous, and I never had a 4.0 before, so she said if I did that, I could play, and I did it.
You did it every year all the way up to this point?
Yes, sir.
So it'd be quite the letdown if you didn't do it, right?
Yeah.
So over this course of time, did her instilling this requirement for you really put academics a priority?
Oh yeah, it's helped me out so much. Over the years, I started to realize how much they actually really help out, because you see athletes that have all the talent in the world, but they have less than 2.0 GPAs, and they don't get to go play D1 football.
What about your buddies on the team or your friends over the years? They always say, what's up with mom? 4.0, that's tough.
They like it. They try and do it with me. We're all in honors classes, all my friends, and we get our jobs done. Scholar athletes.
Well, of course, you're going to be playing at the next level. I think that's your goal. You've committed to Air Force. Maybe some Ivy League possibilities for you. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, I have an offer from Air Force, and I've been really looking into going to Ivy League schools too. They have just so much opportunity to offer, and I think that'd be a really great experience.
Back to football again. Again, expectations high. How good can your team be this year? You had the tough loss last year to Del Oro. Do you like what you've got coming back?
Our team is just so great, and we're all so hungry. We have so much talent and everything. We can honestly go to state this year and win. I believe we can.
What do you think is the strength of this year's team, say, compared to the last couple of years?
We all just really came together. We have a really core group of seniors that came together to lead this team. Everyone else is on ship. We're all just working for the same goal, and we're in it to win it.
I was talking to your head coach, Chris Nixon, about the academic side as well, and he said, hey, I deserve some credit because I had him in the 5th grade, right? Any truth to that, rumor?
Yeah, he had me in 5th grade. I'm Mr. Nixon before the Coach Nixon days.
Yeah. Well, we know it's going to be a big year for you on the field, off the field, a star on both, and we'll catch up as the year progresses.
Yes, sir. Can't wait.
Good stuff with Spencer Sheff. He's one of the refreshing leaders out there, terrific student. His GPA of 4.2, that's what we had combined in high school, so he's much better as a scholar right there for sure.
Hey, I take offense to that.
I do too.
Joe, speaking of stars, here's this week's Von Housen Stars of the Week. This week's Von Housen Stars of the Week are DeAndre Whittington Graves of Grant and Orlando Boyd of Kennedy. Graves, the 5'10", 235-pound running back linebacker bulldozer for the Pacers, opened up the season at Burbank with a solid performance on the ground that would include a pair of touchdown runs from 2 and 13 yards. Whittington Graves led the scoring attack for a Pacer ground game that would rush for over 184 yards on the night. As for Boyd, the sophomore running back, defensive back, did it all for the Cougars in a lopsided win over Small School Valley Christian. On the ground, Boyd carried the ball 7 times for 146 yards, and the only catch tonight that he had was for a 42-yard touchdown. And that wasn't all. Boyd chipped in on the defensive side as well with 3 tackles, a fumble recovery, and an interception for a touchdown that went 45 yards. We're only halfway through the show. Coming up next, Joe and I catch up with the new Sac-Joaquin Section Commissioner, Mike Garrison.
Welcome back to the Bee Prep Show as we bring you the best of high school sports in Northern California and Sacramento in particular. Brought to you by our good friends from Save Mart, up and down the valley, the heart of our coverage area. We caught up to Mike Garrison, the new Sac-Joaquin Section Commissioner, takes over for Pete Sacco. This section is one of 10 in this state, and it's the second largest in this state. We asked him about what he feels makes him qualified and some of the challenges and obstacles that lie ahead.
All right, Mike, you were in this new position as a commissioner. I got to ask you, as you look back at your career and what you've been through, what makes you qualify? What are you looking forward to?
Well, I think what makes me qualify is my involvement. I mean, I've been involved in high school athletics my entire life. So it doesn't matter what position I've held through the course of my career. And some of them you would wonder, like, hey, you're doing that job professionally. Why are you still involved in high school athletics? But I've always tried to keep my fingers involved. So I think just, my breadth of experience that I've had over the years, makes me qualified for, I confidently feel like I'm qualified position. Do I know everything? Absolutely not. And I'm learning, but I'm a quick study. And so I think that involvement and that span and breadth of experiences over the last 26 years that I've been in education help qualify me for the position.
Which includes time as a principal and assistant athletic director and so on. So exactly. Big resume, Joe.
As you look at the Sac-Joaquin section athletically, how do you feel about the health of the section? We have some haves and have-nots. We have some schools suffering with financial problems and things like that. We have some power programs. Realignment, there's always concerns about undue influence and all that. As you size all that up, how do you feel going forward?
Well, I think, yeah, I mean, I'm following, you know, a big presence, Pete, you know, and a person who had a great understanding of that. And I think from a health standpoint, if you were to look at and talk about the health of our organization, the health of our section, I think those are all things that have been taken into consideration through the processes that we use, realignment, so forth, and having healthy discussions. You know, and you're right, there are the haves and have-nots out there, but I think we try to compensate for those and work for those. And really what it comes down to in my vision and my point of view is it's about the kids and what we're doing for kids. So, you know, to go back and say, I think the staff in the past has done a great job of making sure that we keep that in mind, and as we reorganize and do things, structure it that way. So my, I guess, goal or my drive or my mission is to continue with the great things that have happened out of the office and try and just maintain that. But we also want to continuously improve. You know, it's funny with the staff I use a lot of it. I'm an educator, so I use a lot of educational terms, you know, and they look at me like, well, you know, I say, but that's the realm I come in. And we are a byproduct, not a byproduct, or we're connected to schools and education. So, you know, using those terms is, you know, it's kind of interesting, but those are all things.
And the section commissioners need to work. That's what Pete Sacco and the other section commissioners have done. And as you know, you have to work with your member schools. You are as good as the people that you work with. And I think this is a section it's the second largest in the state, so they understand that message.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I think the biggest thing for me, my philosophy is service. We're service. That's what our job is too. We're going to serve our schools. So we're the resource for you. What resources we provide for you.
Lastly on this, you're from Southern California. You were a basketball player in high school and college at Chico State. Do you think about those times, even in your term as a principal or assistant athletic director, and now as you go to this new role as a commissioner, do you look back at those days at all?
Oh, every morning I get up and my knees and back kill me. I think about yeah, I do. I think about, you know, I always when I'm dealing with the athletic arena, I do think about some of the things that I got to experience as a high school athlete or a college athlete, and going, you know, that was what a great opportunity, what a great experience it was for me, and I hope kids out there are able to have those same experiences. So whenever I'm making a decision, whether it was as a principal or as an athletic director or as an assistant superintendent, that was always in the back of my mind. This decision that you're making, don't make it about adults. Make this about kids. What's in the best interest of that kid, and you know, what can we do for them? So I've always tried to focus my decisions on those types of things. And like I said, I always think about my involvement and what I was able to get out of it. Yeah.
Well, new office here in Lodi. Mike Garrison, your new Sac-Joaquin section commissioner.
Good to catch up to Mike Garrison, the new section commissioner. I think we both agree he's a great hire. You have to have somebody who's firm, disciplined, who understands high school athletics. Otherwise, you're going to have chaos with transfers and undue influence and all that kind of stuff. We're in good shape with this commissioner.
Yeah. You a soccer fan?
Big time soccer fan. It's a great area for it.
Me too. Here's this week's top 20 rankings.
Fun to be back with you as we talk high school sports in Northern California. Big emphasis in Sacramento and the Sac-Joaquin section, brought to you by Save Mart. Mike, the ALS bucket challenge is everywhere. We got lured in.
We did get lured in. Ron Nichetti of the CIF state office challenged you and I. So we figured, hey, we're in the Bay Area on that day. We're going to go down and shoot it from the Berkeley Marina. And that's just what we did. And we got a little bit wet.
Hi, we're coming to you from the Berkeley Marina right here in the Bay Area as we accepted the challenge from Ron Nichetti, our good friend from the CIF Executive Office. And we've got our bucket, but Mike Finnerty and I, we were going to jump into the bay waters, swim out to Alcatraz, and come back because we are so into this ALS bucket challenge. We believe in the cause, and we're now challenging our media friends out there, Mark Billingsley of the Sacramento Bee, Mitch Stevens from Max Preps, and all of the other guys. We're doing it here in cold country. Enjoy.
All All right, Mike Finnerty here, also from the Berkeley Marina. My good friend Joe Davidson just took the ALS Bucket Challenge. I'm doing it as well, accepting the challenge from Ron Nichetti. So what I'm going to do is this bucket here in just a moment, but I'm going to challenge our B #1 ranked teams. We head into the fall season. The Folsom Bulldogs football team, the Christian Brothers Falcons volleyball team, and the Jesuit Marauders soccer team. You guys are up next. Here we go.
That's cold. Oh, that bucket challenge was fun, and we really did swim to Alcatraz and back. We couldn't bring the camera, so we can't really prove it, but trust us, we're trustable guys.
Yeah, I don't know about that. All right, Joe, last week was 0 week. This week we've got week 1 of the high school football schedule. More teams are playing, and we've got games to preview. I'm going to start off with Granite Bay playing host to Cosumnes Oaks, a new-look Cosumnes Oaks team, by the way. Granite Bay returns their star player Cam Smith, linebacker, going to USC. It's the return of Ernie Cooper. It's going to be a good game. Cosumnes Oaks got a good win last week. I think that's going to be a competitive game.
I think it's a very good game, and Jaron Stallworth is a rising quarterback for Cosumnes Oaks, so it's a fun matchup there. How about Sacramento at El Camino as the Eagles break in their stadium? El Camino opened in 1950. They're long overdue, the Eagles, for a new digs. But when you talk about Sacramento, wow, terrific quarterback. Caden Voges, who's really something else. Lonnie Powell as well. That's a shootout game right there. Fun.
You talk about a team opening up a new stadium. How about Rockland at Del Campo? Athletic director for Del Campo, Sharon Probst, excited for this new field. Rockland brings the running game with Evan Holtz. In Del Campo, they always pound the ball. They had a nice win in week 0. I think it's going to be competitive.
Yeah, and kudos to these schools in the San Juan Unified School District getting new stadiums and new digs. All right, another one. Vacaville at Oak Ridge in El Dorado Hills. Oak Ridge is highly ranked by the Bee. Vacaville's been a power for a long time. Eric Cavalier, the Oak Ridge coach, likes this game because he's a Vacaville graduate, says it has a lot of history in him. It means a lot for him. Ian Book is the terrific junior quarterback for the Trojans. He's going to have a big game. Vacaville runs like the wind. It's a very good showdown. They've had terrific opening games over the years.
You need to turn off your stereo, by the way. It's very loud. All right, we got one more game, Joe. Roseville at Rio Linda. This is the rematch of last year's game that was a thriller at the end. But when I think of this game, I think of Marcel Brown, the big bruising running back for the Knights. They got a new coach and Justin Reber, Rio Linda that is. And again, Larry Cunha back for Roseville. He'll have a solid team. It's a battle of 2 ranked teams.
Yeah, and you got a veteran coach in Larry Cunha. He's been around since the beginning of time. And sorry, coach, I didn't mean to age you. Justin Reber in his first year. Last year, Roseville won on a blocked field goal, returned it for a touchdown on the last play of the game. Could have that kind of fireworks again.
Yeah, that would be fun. All right, Joe, that is one full show. Next week, we're going to have volleyball and soccer, tons of football, a full show for you. We can't wait to get going. Once again, you can catch the Bee Prep Show every Tuesday. That's new shows every Tuesday on Comcast Sportsnet California. Re-airs are Wednesdays and Thursdays, sometimes Fridays. And if you miss it on TV all week long, just go to sacbee.com on Friday and check it out. We want to thank our sponsors, Save Mart for producing this show, Schools Credit Union, Von Housen Auto Mall, Roseville Auto Mall, Von Housen Motors. Another great show. We look forward to seeing you next week.